And audience members, a round of applause for your category winner. And relax, congratulations, Sean. We shall see you return later today for the overall. Thank you.
Fucking hell, bro. Right. Now, Beyond the Mirror, Sean Paton. So yeah, grew up with it, with my dad. Always had an interest in it. I always wanted to go to the gym, but I just wasn't old enough at that point. I was only 13, 14, so it was more just kind of at home, you know, press ups, sit ups, that kind of stuff, and then conditioning at rugby and stuff like that. So that's my dad, the man that got me into the gym. Always been a unit, as you can see. Father like son. Yeah, I mean, he's been training since I was born, before that as well, and that's probably like the main instigator of why I joined the gym, because I wanted to be a unit like my dad. The bodybuilding aspect came, I mean, I was always interested in it, but it came later on, really, probably like a year into training. There were kind of two distinct points. So obviously, when I was speaking to my neighbour, that was kind of when the interest really took hold. And then last year, so going into third year of uni, was when I fully committed to doing a show. I was like, this is the year I'm doing, because I was kind of tinkering with the idea, but I just didn't know when I had the money to do it, because it's not cheap. And then yeah, I contacted Dan December time, November time last year, and you know, we had a call, discussed kind of what the plan of action would be, and then I joined up with him start of January as I was heading back to uni for my final semester. And yeah, I mean, that's where it kind of, I experienced what bodybuilding is like, not just going to the gym. It was like a completely different ball game. Dan is was my coach, and to be again when I've got enough money. But Dan kind of was like my guide throughout the whole thing. Absolutely there whenever I needed him, on the end of his phone. Any advice, any questions, he was there. To start off with, it was just like kind of weekly check-ins, as not much needs to change day to day at the start of your prep. But as we kind of get closer and closer in, contact becomes, you know, daily at that point, making little tweaks, just seeing how you are. And at that point, you know, he became more than just a coach. Like, he was, you know, a great mate. Like, I could speak to him about anything. And then seeing him in person 10 days out from my show, it was just like, you know, I'd never met him before, but like, I felt, you know, it was just like click like that. You know, he's great, and I, you know, as soon as I've got the funds, I'm back with him, because I miss it. It was an incredible experience. Humble abode. If you turn around, you can see my lovely piece. Not my limited edition Rossi helmet. Here are my medals and my trophies from my show. On my piece displayer. Very proud of that. It's just all these little things add up. Like, you know, one tub of that, it's like 35 quid. And you've got a tub of this, tub of that, tub of this. Bodybuilding is not cheap. Doing it properly isn't, because anyone can just buy a Wyles test for 30 quid and smash it. but all the little bits that go with it, doing your blood work, £200 a pop, organ scans annually, you know, 500 quid. Food. I spent 300 quid on skyr yogurt on my prep in a 5-month prep. Just skyr yogurt. Like, if it wasn't on nectar that week, I was ruined because I'd be paying.
Skyr is good stuff.
It is nice, but it's just yeah. And the mince price is going up every time I went to the shop. I think it started at like 7 quid at the start of my prep, and at the end of prep it was £9.25 a kilo. For what? And those horrific vacuum sealed slabs, really annoying.
The number one bit of advice is don't do steroids. Don't take them. I had a kid ask me, college kid, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just, you know, I started when I was 20, 19, or turning 20. You know, I was considering it younger, but I know that was consideration for when I was older. It wasn't for now. It's, you know, you're still, I started too young. Still, I know this, but for the kids starting at like 16, like, absolutely not. It's going to destroy your natural endocrine system if you take the piss. You know, you might be infertile, or, you know, have ED for the rest of your life, which you don't really want to deal with.
So today for breakfast we actually have 300 milligrams of test and 250 milligrams of Masteron. Exactly. It's incredibly nutritious.
Mentally, I've actually preferred. I feel a lot better on gear. Most of these episodes happen. The issues I've had is when I've not been on gear, because that's when I let myself drink. When I'm on gear, I don't drink, and then I don't have these issues. But I just felt like a lot more confident. I feel more just like energetic. I don't know. I feel like more me. I don't know, an exaggerated version slightly, but not like over the top. The main thing for kids just starting out is just be consistent. Be consistent with your training and your nutrition, and you will grow. You're like, at that age and your kind of initial training period of like the first couple of years, you're just going to inflate. And if you do it properly, you'll put on a really good amount. So I mean, I put on, you know, 7-8 kilos in my first year of training. If I put on 7-8 kilos in like a year now, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's a stupid amount of tissue. So keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it, and just be consistent with it. That's it, really. I never really experienced anything crazy mental health wise prior to that. But I think, you know, once you get put in your little hamster box of halls, and then you're drinking multiple times a week, it kind of just amplified everything. And I really struggled with my anxiety. I'm not super outgoing as a person anyway, like meeting new people. I'm not super into that anyway. Like, I struggled quite a lot doing that, so I thought, oh yeah, go out, get trashed. It'll be like, that's how you make friends here, right? Wasn't really the case. I kind of just ended up slipping into a bit of a cycle where I'd go out, I'd drink, and then I'd get in my own head, and I'd do things I wasn't like particularly proud of. I'd end up cutting myself, and it got to the point where I enjoyed doing that. I remember the day before the Euros final, it was England-Spain, we all went out, and I got back to mine at like
4 or 5 in the morning, and parents weren't in, so I was like, fair game, just went way over the top, ended up in hospital again, and then I had to sit there steaming, absolutely covered in gashes, watching the final in a jumper in like 25 degrees. That wasn't ideal. So September time last year, I full sent it, and I overdosed on some of my magic pills upstairs that accelerate your heart rate, aiming to induce a heart attack. And at that point, I was sat outside on the curb just down the road. I literally felt like my heart was going to explode. Didn't regret it instantly, but then Penny, my fiance, ended up calling me and called an ambulance, and she came over. And I was like, I could barely control my hands were like clawing up, my face was like sagging, and they said I was probably about an hour away from having a heart attack.
Who has supported you the most through this journey?
I wouldn't have been able to do it at all without Penny. She moved in with me in my final year after Christmas. If I didn't have her there, it would have been rough. Just having someone that you can not even to hear anything back, just so you can vent to and just chat, waffle. It was so needed. So I just needed that someone, because a lot of the time university can be quite isolating for people. So that was really needed. I speak to her about all of this stuff that I've spoken about previously, and she's been there living through it as well, putting up with me. God knows how she does it. But yeah, that's why I stuck a ring on it, because she's unbelievable.
I looked over. Part of bodybuilding is the posing. It's like added cardio. You burn 100 calories or so just practicing your posing. It's fucking hard. Like constantly putting vacuums as hard as you can and crunching down on your abs as hard as you can for on stage you're doing it for 5 minutes plus if you're in call outs. So you're doing 3 rounds of 5 minutes at a time at home just to get up that fitness, because it's tough. I was breaking a sweat doing it when I was practicing for my show, and I was only doing up to 3 rounds. Some people do up to 5, and way more poses, practicing their routine and everything. I was a bit lazy with mine, but I'm just that guy, so my routine was sick, and I still won my show because I'm sick. But most people neglect it, and then they go on stage and they're like, when they're trying to pull a vacuum and it looks shit. That's why. Practice your poses.
Yeah, so a couple of years out, I want to put on a lot more size, because I'm not going to be competing in juniors anymore. I'm going to be in with the big dogs. So some of them are well over 100 kilo on stage, and I was only 78. So there's a lot of ground to make up in that regard. That just takes time. I've got plenty of it, so just going to enjoy the process.